They betrayed you. But they didn't expect this ending. My beloved child, stop for a moment. This message found you for a reason, and something hidden is about to be revealed in your life right now. You didn't just stumble here. The universe, in its quiet wisdom, has been guiding you through every unanswered question, every silent tear, every moment when you felt unseen. There is something sacred unfolding behind the scenes, something you couldn't yet understand, until now. I need you to feel this deeply. What you thought was rejection was actually redirection. What felt like loss was protection. And what seemed like betrayal was part of a divine unfolding you were never meant to control, only to grow through. Listen closely, because this is where the hidden truth begins to surface. They betrayed you. But they didn't expect this ending, asterisk asterisk. Not because you fought back. Not because you proved anything. But because the universe has been quietly preparing a path that no one else could see. You see, while others acted from confusion, fear, or misalignment, your soul was being refined. Every moment you chose silence over reaction, healing over bitterness, faith over doubt, you were aligning with a higher plan. And that plan does not miss. There is something powerful about your energy right now. You may not fully feel it yet, but shifts are happening. Doors you thought were permanently closed are being replaced with ones you never imagined. People who couldn't recognize your worth are being removed to make space for those who will honor it effortlessly. And here's the part that most don't realize. The ending you feared is not your ending. It is your awakening. Something hidden within you is rising, your clarity, your strength, your ability to see truth without illusion. You are no longer the same person who tolerated confusion, who chased validation, who questioned your own intuition. Now, you are stepping into alignment. And the universe is responding. So if you've been feeling a pull lately, a quiet nudge telling you that something is about to change, trust that. That is not coincidence. That is divine timing activating in your life. Stay with this message until the end, because what comes next may be exactly what your soul has been waiting to hear. And if this message resonates with you, if you feel even a spark of truth within your heart, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs this clarity, and subscribe to this channel for more messages meant just for you. Your journey is not over, it's just beginning. Did you know there's a possible image of your real soulmate that you can look at right now? It might be someone you know or someone you haven't met yet. It's amazing how accurate these have been. You have to see the photo to see what I mean. Click the link in the description to get your soulmate sketch. Your soulmate is starting to miss you in a different way, not with the loud ache of absence, not with restless nights or unanswered questions, but with a quiet, undeniable pull that they cannot explain. It is I who placed this shift within their heart. I am the one who stirs what once slept. What you could not force, what you could not chase, what you could not fix, I have begun to transform. There is a sacred movement happening beyond your sight, and though you may feel nothing changing on the surface, the unseen is already in motion. Listen closely, for I speak not in noise, but in knowing. The connection you carry was never random. It was written before your first breath, before your doubts, before your waiting. You have wondered why their energy felt distant, why silence replaced what once felt alive. You questioned whether it was over, whether you imagined it all. But I tell you now, nothing that I have destined can be erased by confusion or delay. What is meant for you does not disappear, it evolves, it waits, and when the time is right, it returns with deeper understanding. Your soulmate is beginning to feel you again, but not as they once did. This time, it is not surface-level attraction or fleeting emotion. It is something that unsettles them, something that reaches into the quiet parts of their soul. They may not have the words for it yet. They may try to ignore it, distract themselves, convince themselves it means nothing. But I have placed a truth within them that cannot be silenced forever. It will rise in moments when they least expect it, in stillness, in reflection, in the spaces where they can no longer run. You must understand, this distance you experienced was not punishment. It was preparation. There were lessons that could not be learned together, wounds that could not be healed side by side. I separated your paths so that both of you could grow into the version of yourselves that this connection requires. You were being shaped, even in your loneliness. You were being guided, even when you felt lost. And now, as you stand on the edge of something new, you are being asked to trust what you cannot yet see. There is a reason you have felt this subtle shift within yourself too. You may have noticed it, a calmness where there was once urgency, a quiet acceptance where there was once resistance. This is not coincidence. This is alignment. When you stopped chasing, when you released the need to control the outcome, you created space for me to work. And in that space, I began to move not only within you, but within them as well. Your soulmate is beginning to recognize what they once overlooked. Memories that seemed ordinary are now returning with new meaning. Conversations, moments, emotions, they are being replayed through a different lens. What they once dismissed, they are now questioning. What they once took lightly, they are now feeling deeply. This is how I awaken realization, not through force, but through truth that unfolds naturally, steadily, and without denial. Do not mistake their silence for absence. Do not assume that because you do not see action, nothing is happening. Some of the most powerful transformations occur in stillness. Right now, I am working within their heart, softening what was hardened, illuminating what was hidden. They are being guided to face parts of themselves they once avoided. And as they do, they are beginning to understand the role you played in their life, not as a passing chapter, but as something far more significant. You, too, are being prepared for what is to come. I have seen your patience, your strength, your moments of doubt that you carried quietly. I have seen how you held on when it would have been easier to let go, and how you tried to let go when holding on felt too heavy. Every emotion you have experienced has shaped you into someone who is ready, not for what was, but for what is meant to be. But listen carefully, this next phase requires something different from you. It is not about waiting in longing or hoping in uncertainty. It is about standing firmly in your own worth, knowing that what is aligned with you will come without force. Your soulmate's awakening is not something you need to manage. It is something you need to allow. Trust that I am guiding them, just as I am guiding you. There will be moments when you feel their energy more strongly again. You may sense them thinking of you, dreaming of you, being drawn toward you without explanation. This is not your imagination. This is the connection responding to the work being done on both sides. But do not let this pull you back into old patterns. Do not return to the version of yourself that chased clarity from someone who was not ready to give it. This time is different. This time, it must be built on truth, on mutual understanding, on a foundation that cannot be shaken by fear or confusion. I am not bringing you back together in the same way as before. I am reshaping the connection so that it reflects who you have both become. And that requires patience, trust, and the willingness to let things unfold without interference. Your soulmate is starting to miss you not just as a person, but as a presence, as a feeling, as a truth they cannot replace. They are beginning to realize that what they experienced with you was not something easily found elsewhere. And this realization is not coming from lack or loneliness, it is coming from clarity. It is coming from the understanding that some connections are meant to be faced, not avoided. Do not rush this process. Do not question its timing. Everything is happening exactly as it should. Even the delays, even the silence, even the moments that made you doubt, they were all part of the path leading you here. What is unfolding now is not sudden, it is the result of everything that has been building beneath the surface. Stay grounded in yourself. Stay aligned with your growth. Continue to move forward, not backward. Because as you do, you are not only stepping into your own purpose, you are also allowing the connection to meet you at the level it was always meant to reach. And know this, what is meant for you will not require you to shrink, to question your worth, or to lose yourself in the process. What is meant for you will arrive with clarity, with intention, and with a sense of peace that does not need to be chased. I am not finished with this story. I am not finished with this story. There are still pages unfolding, still moments being aligned in ways you cannot yet comprehend. What you see as distance, I see as divine timing. What you feel as uncertainty, I know as transformation. Your journey with this soul is not coincident, not a fleeting crossing of paths, it is intentional, guided, and protected by forces greater than your understanding. Even now, as you wonder what comes next, I am already arranging the answers, placing each piece exactly where it belongs. Your soulmate is walking through a quiet awakening, one that does not announce itself loudly, but grows stronger with each passing day. They are beginning to feel the absence of your energy not as emptiness, but as a missing light they once took for granted. This realization does not come all at once. It arrives in waves, in the middle of ordinary moments, in reflections they cannot escape, in feelings that return without warning. And with each wave, their understanding deepens. I am guiding them to see what they could not see before. Where there was once confusion, I am bringing clarity. Where there was once avoidance, I am creating awareness. They are starting to recognize the truth of your connection, not through words you spoke, but through the imprint you left on their soul. This is something that cannot be erased, replaced, or ignored forever. It is something that calls to them, even when they try to silence it. But understand this clearly, just as they are awakening, you are evolving. You are not the same person you were when this connection first began. You have grown stronger, wiser, more aware of your own value. The version of you that once questioned everything is slowly being replaced by someone who trusts deeply, who understands that what is meant for them does not require constant doubt. This growth is essential, because what is coming next will require you to stand firmly in who you have become. There may be moments when impatience tries to return, when you feel the urge to reach out, to seek answers, to confirm what you already sense. But I ask you to pause in those moments. Not because your desire is wrong, but because your timing must align with mine. There is a difference between action driven by trust and action driven by fear. What is unfolding between you and your soulmate must be guided by trust, not by the need to control the outcome. Your soulmate is learning lessons that only distance could teach them. They are beginning to understand the value of presence, the meaning of connection, the depth of what they once experienced with you. These are realizations that cannot be rushed. They must come from within, naturally and truthfully, so that when they return, they do so with clarity, not confusion. And yes, there will be a moment when the silence shifts, when the distance begins to close, when the energy between you becomes undeniable once again. This moment is not. It is something I am preparing carefully, ensuring that both of you are ready to meet it with open hearts and clear minds. When it arrives, you will feel it, not as chaos, but as a calm certainty that something has changed. Do not fear this reconnection, but do not romanticize it blindly either. What is being rebuilt must be stronger than before. It must be rooted in honesty, in understanding, in a willingness from both sides to show up fully. This is why the preparation has been necessary. This is why you have both been guided through separate paths. Because what comes next cannot be built on the same foundation as before, it must rise from something deeper, something more stable. You may not see all the signs yet, but they are there. In your dreams, in your intuition, in the subtle shifts in your emotions, these are all ways I communicate with you. I am reminding you that you are not alone in this process. I am present in every step, every pause, every moment of doubt and every moment of clarity. Trust that what you feel is not without purpose. Your soulmate, too, is being guided, even if they do not realize it consciously. There are moments when they feel drawn toward you without understanding why, moments when your presence crosses their mind unexpectedly, moments when they begin to question choices they once felt certain about. These are not coincidences. These are gentle awakenings, nudging them closer to the truth they have been avoiding. But listen carefully, this journey is not only about reunion. It is about alignment. It is about becoming the person you are meant to be, regardless of the outcome. Because when you are fully aligned with yourself, you no longer seek connection from a place of lack. You welcome it from a place of completeness. And that is where true union begins, not when two incomplete souls try to fill each other's emptiness, but when two whole individuals choose to walk together. So continue forward. Continue growing, healing, becoming. Do not put your life on hold waiting for a moment that is already being prepared. Live fully in the present, knowing that what is meant for you is not lost, it is simply finding its way back under the right conditions. This is not a test of your patience alone, it is a transformation of your understanding. And as this transformation unfolds, you will begin to notice something profound, a shift not only in your connection with your soulmate, but in your connection with yourself. You will feel more grounded, more certain, more at peace with where you are and where you are going. This is how you will know that you are aligned with my plan. The story is still being written, and there are moments ahead that will challenge you, surprise you, and reveal truths you have long been waiting to understand. But do not rush to the ending. Do not try to skip ahead. Every chapter has meaning, every pause has purpose, and every step is leading you exactly where you are meant to be. Trust in this. Trust in me. Trust in this. Trust in me. For what is unfolding now is not coincident, nor is it something fragile that can be lost with time. It is a connection that has been tempered by distance, refined by silence, and strengthened by growth. You have both walked through separate fires, and though you may not fully see the transformation yet, it lives within you. The version of you that once sought validation is fading, and in its place stands someone who understands that love, when guided by truth, does not need to be chased, it arrives. Your soulmate is nearing a moment of undeniable clarity. What once felt confusing to them is beginning to make sense. The emotions they pushed aside are resurfacing, but this time with depth and understanding. They are no longer able to label what they feel as temporary or insignificant. It has become something real, something they must face. And as this realization settles within them, it begins to shift their actions, their thoughts, and the way they see you. But hear this clearly, when they return, they will not come back the same way they left. And neither will you receive them in the same way you once would have. This is where your growth will be tested. You are no longer meant to accept half answers, unclear intentions, or inconsistent energy. What is coming must meet you at your level of clarity, your level of self-respect, your level of truth. This is not about proving love, it is about honoring it correctly. There may be a moment when everything feels as though it is happening quickly, as if the silence breaks all at once. Words may be spoken, emotions may be revealed, and the connection may feel intense again. But do not lose yourself in that intensity. Stay grounded in what you have learned. Stay rooted in who you have become. Because this time, you are not stepping into something uncertain, you are stepping into something that must be built with awareness. I have not brought you this far only to return you to confusion. I have not guided your heart through growth only for it to settle for less than it deserves. What is meant for you will come with a sense of peace, even in its intensity. It will not leave you questioning your worth or your place in someone's life. And if at any moment it does, you will now have the strength to recognize it and choose differently. Your soulmate is beginning to understand the weight of what they almost lost. This understanding is not rooted in fear, but in truth. They are seeing you not just as someone who was part of their past, but as someone who holds a meaningful place in their journey. This awareness changes everything, because it shifts their perspective from avoidance to intention. Yet, this path still requires patience, just a little more. Not the kind of patience that feels heavy or exhausting, but the kind that comes from trust. You are no longer waiting in uncertainty, you are allowing in faith. There is a difference. Waiting questions whether something will happen. Allowing knows that it already is. As you move forward, you may begin to notice signs of alignment appearing more frequently. Small confirmations, subtle shifts, moments that feel too precise to be coincidence. These are reminders that you are in flow with what is meant for you. Do not ignore them, but do not depend on them either. Let them reassure you, not control you. Your journey has also been about rediscovering yourself beyond this connection. You were never meant to lose your identity in love. You were meant to expand through it. And now, you are stepping into a version of yourself that understands balance, someone who can love deeply without abandoning their own path, someone who can connect without losing their center. This is why the timing matters. Because if this reunion had happened earlier, it would not have held. The lessons would have been incomplete, the understanding unfinished. But now, you are both approaching a place where something real can be built, not on illusion, but on truth. When the moment of reconnection fully arrives, it will feel different. Not chaotic, not uncertain, but steady and clear. There will still be emotions, there will still be depth, but beneath it all, there will be a sense of knowing. A quiet recognition that this is not, that this is something that has found its way back with purpose. And in that moment, you will be given a choice. Not a choice driven by fear or longing, but a conscious decision. To step forward together in alignment, or to honor your growth and walk a different path. This is what true power looks like, the ability to choose what is right for your soul, not just what feels familiar to your heart. Know this above all else, you are not being led toward loss. You are being led toward clarity. Whether that clarity brings reunion or redirection, it will bring peace. Because what I intend for you is not confusion, not struggle, but alignment with what truly belongs in your life. Your soulmate's awakening is part of this plan, but it is not the center of it, you are. Your growth, your understanding, your alignment, these are what shape your reality. The connection is a reflection, not the foundation. And as you continue to stand firmly in who you are, you allow only what matches that truth to enter your life. So release the final traces of doubt. Let go of the need to predict how or when everything will unfold. Trust that what is moving toward you is doing so with purpose. Trust that what is meant to stay will stay. And trust that you are exactly where you need to be, even now. I have guided every step of this journey, even the ones that felt uncertain. I have seen every moment of growth, every silent prayer, every time you chose to keep going when it felt easier to stop. Nothing has been unnoticed. Nothing has been without meaning. And now, as this chapter begins to close and another prepares to open, carry this truth with you: what is meant for you will find you, not in chaos, but in clarity, not in confusion, but in understanding, not in fragments, but in wholeness. This is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new alignment, one that reflects everything you have become, everything you have learned, and everything you are now ready to receive. Amen.